few different moves today. So you're going to work all around the body, your front of your body, the back of your body, your outer thighs, your legs, your tummy and waist. So you're going to get a nice workout today. And this is the kind of exercise, a little mini routine that I would do just in the middle of the day or any time. I just think, oh, I feel a bit floppy, like my body isn't being supported properly. This is what I would do for myself. So it doesn't have to be rocket science and complex to be good. So you're going to have your legs bent and your feet are in line with your knees, are in line with your hips, are in line with your shoulders. So your knees are hip width apart with your head on the floor, shoulders relaxed back, chest open. Now, if you know you've got maybe a rounded upper back and your neck is tight, you might be like this with your chin up, in which case you need to either tuck your chin down a little bit, you'll have a space there, but tuck your chin down, or you might need a little towel or a little thin cushion underneath your head. Remember, we checked out the position of the pelvis last week, so again, make your hands like that. Heels of your hands go on the front of your pelvis, fingers down on your pubic bone. And I want you to just tuck your hips under so that your waist now squidges into the floor. And then release your pelvis back to being level. We talked about having a plate of peas on the pelvis. But then now you're going to arch your back with a great big space and let the peas or the marbles roll off between your legs. Let's go again. So tuck your pelvis under. So that's called an imprint or a pelvic tilt. You squidged your waist into the floor. You've imprinted your bones into the floor. Can you feel that? And then release your waist and arch the back again. So it's quite a nice warm-up move. Go again, tuck your pelvis under. You could be using your legs, you could be squeezing your thighs, you can be squeezing your bottom. And then release and arch the spine. Now let's connect with the breathing. Exhale, tuck under. Release the peas so that the pelvis is level and inhale and arch the back. One more time, tuck your pelvis under, exhale. So all the air is being squeezed out, and then release through neutral and inhale when you arch. And then find the midpoint. So that's really lovely. If you've been sitting a lot or you've been at your desk this morning and your lower back is a bit stiff, just doing those little pelvic tilts loosens your lower back. It's really good. So I want you to find that place where your plate of peas are level. Some people like to curl up and look. Is it level? Other people just visualize. Other people feel the sacrum, the flat bit of the back of the spine on the floor, and you're aware of the pressure being even on the left, the right. You've got a little gap behind your waist that's the right size for you. And careful these ribs don't pop up. Just sink them down a little bit and relax your shoulders. Now, place your arms by your side. Head central. If you can do it by listening instead of needing to look at me, then that would be great. Head central. Take a breath in. When you exhale, simply engage your pelvic floor as you breathe out. So it's like you're stopping yourself from needing a wee or passing wind, and you're just holding that a little bit, not the biggest squeeze of your life, just 10-15% squeeze. Send the breath now up into your chest, your ribs and your upper lungs. Huge amount of lung space we have up top here. Use this and visualize it all expanding as you inhale. And this time as you exhale, feel like you're just tightening your belt. So you've got a sense of the waist engaging. It's like you've just got your dressing gown and gone and tightened the belt right round your middle. Again, not the biggest squeeze of your life, but a sense of containment. The pelvis is level, nothing's moved. So now we've got pelvic floor, waist, and a feeling of being held. Yeah? Add to that for me a breath into your chest, your ribs, your back. This time when you exhale, imagine your feet are getting lighter. They're not going to lift, but it's as if they're about to. Can you feel now the low bit of your tummy going, hello? Don't let it dome up. Press it down, but keep the space behind your waist. So it's like your tummy muscles and back muscles are a sandwich for your spine. Now we're going to do something a bit different. Last week we did leg slides. Do you remember we went out and in? We held this position and we just floated the legs out and in. This time we've gone to the gym, and instead of picking up 5 kilos, we're going to pick up 7. That's the metaphor. So take a breath in, keep the pelvis level and float one thigh up to vertical. Now most people go like this and they bring it too far. I want it just knee above hip, pelvis still. You've not closed that gap. Bring it back down, let the foot land like a little feather and change legs. Fold in, bring it back down, let the foot land like a feather and fold in, changing legs each time. Now I want you to start to get a rhythm going. This is an alternating knee lift. Doesn't look very hard, but you should be able to feel that if you're keeping your pelvis level, if you're not letting it rock as your foot lands, then you should feel there's some tension in your tummy and your back, and you're holding it as still as you can. Now let's add some breathing to this. Exhale when your knee comes in. Inhale when it goes down, but when it lands, use your pelvic floor for real stability, and then exhale, fold the other leg in. Inhale, come down. Exhale, change. So we talked about some of the principles of Pilates. You keep going. Concentration, smooth flowing movement, precision, isolation. So what we're doing is we're isolating this area, the low part of your tummy, your waist, your back, while switching off your arms, your shoulders, your head, your neck. Your calves are floppy, your feet are relaxed. So really the only bit that's working is this section of the low part of your torso. Can you in your mind isolate the squeeze of what's working and at the same time the softness of what's not? Multitasking. So 2 more. It's a simple knee lift, but it's firing up your core. It's good. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, come down. Now, anybody feel like their back's sort of a bit tense? If you do, tuck your pelvis under 2 or 3 times, and that's just a way of releasing your lower back. There's a lot of work going on, not just on the front of your body, but all the way around and into your lower back as well. So don't be surprised if you feel, I just want to move. Okay, so instead of going to the gym and picking up 5 kilograms or 7 kilograms, we're now going to go to the gym and pick up 10 kilograms. So if you find this too much, please go back to the move we've just done. We've got plate of peas, level, ribs soft, head central, shoulders relaxed. You're going to take a breath in. Exhale, engage your pelvic floor, squeezing your tummy a little bit. Breathe into your chest, your ribs, your back. Exhale, float one leg up to 90 degrees, not too close. Keep it there. Breathe in. Squeeze your tummy and float the second leg up as well. So now it looks like you're sitting on a hard chair. Everything's 90 degrees, shins level with the floor, hips 90 degrees, thighs vertical. Now just holding your legs here, you prod your tummy, there's some tension in it, just to keep these legs up, yeah? Okay, relax your shoulders, take a breath in. So like before, instead of a knee lift, we're now going to dip your toe in a bowl of water, no splashing, lift it back up again. Exhale, dip your other toe in a bowl of water, shoulders soft, lift it back up again. So we've increased the weights. And if your back is straining, please put your feet back on the floor and just do a knee lift, alternating. But if you're managing this, think about the breathing. It's more important now. We're lifting bigger weights, the breath matters more. Exhale, foot to floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale, foot to floor. Inhale, lift. Go at the pace of your breathing, not making the breath keep up with you. The breath is into the chest and the ribs and the back. So you're not disturbing the pressure in the tummy. When you breathe in, don't let the belly rise. Exhale. Inhale, chest. Exhale, foot to floor. Are we starting to feel it a bit? Inhale, lift. Twice more. Inhale. One more. And bring one knee into your chest, bring the other knee into your chest. Again, release your back by rocking your knees in and out, circling them round. So can you feel how we can just increase the levers? Instead of going to the gym and lifting up weights, we're using our head, our arms and our legs as our weights. And when we have two legs in the air, it's heavier than one. It's physics. So that's a nice simple way of firing up your low tummy and back muscles. And if you're wanting to try and get a flatter tummy, that's a really important exercise, that you are particularly focused on the exhale and the squeeze and not letting your tummy bulge up. I can let my tummy dome like the best of us, but if you contain it, squeeze it, lift your pelvic floor, then you've sealed all the pressure in here and it will get stronger while it's flat. Okay, not stronger while it's pot-bellied. So now we're going to move on. You put your feet back on the floor. This is called a shoulder bridge, so I want you to have no cushions under your heads. Take them out. You've got, if you had one there, feet, knees and hips are in line. Your pelvis is level, your arms come by your side. Okay, so we're going to rock and roll the pelvis and we're going to roll up onto our shoulders. And I'd like you to think about your torso and your spine as a piece of sellotape that you're peeling off the floor, or some sticky tape, and you're having to roll it off the floor. It's not going to come up straight, it's going to have to be peeled and tugged. So that's what we're going to do with our spine. Take a breath in for me. Push down with your feet. Start to exhale, squeeze your thighs and your bottom and go into a pelvic tilt. And just stay there. So this is the first part. You've gone from level to a tuck. And you've just really tucked your tail under, haven't you? Your bottom is tucked under. Can you feel how your legs are helping and your bottom is helping? Now I want you to breathe into your chest again. And then draw the tummy down and try and post it under your diaphragm like a little tuck. It's a tummy tuck. And then roll the pelvis up, then the waist, then the bottom of the rib cage until you come up onto your shoulder blades or thereabouts. Now it's not about height. If we go for height, what you'll find is you shove your ribs up and you tense your neck. I'm looking for a diagonal line from your knees, down your thighs, to your hips, to your shoulders, so you're in a lovely straight diagonal line. If you get your hands and you now put them behind your waist and you feel either side of your spine, there's a great big hollow where your lower back, where your spine is. Can you feel it goes up where your spine is? And either side, can you feel two ridges like the Himalayas? Or Striding Edge and Squirrel Edge, if you know the Lake District. These are your back muscles, and these are really important for lower back stability and strength. Most people need to use these more because we sit too much. So take a breath in and then roll that spine down. Visualize it, that your shoulder blades sink, then the sternum sinks through, then the bottom of the rib cage comes down, then the top of your waist, then the middle of your waist, behind your belly button, then your pelvis, then your tail, and then you release. So I want you to get that real rolling action. Let's go again. Inhale. Push down with your feet, squeeze your thighs, bottom, lift your pelvic floor, hollow your tummy, just soften it a little bit before you roll your spine up onto your shoulders. This time, if you feel safe to, take your arms up and over and let them hang on the floor with your armpits open and your elbows bent and floppy. Now, check for me your feet. Have you got as much pressure in the front of your foot as your heel? Or have you snuck it into just the heels or just the outside edge of your feet? Get the foot completely flat and you'll feel the back of your legs wake up. Breathe in here. And then roll the spine down, letting the weight of the spine sag like a skipping rope. Rolls through the chest, the ribs, the waist, the pelvis, the tail, until the gap behind your waist reappears. Bring your arms down. Everybody okay? Take a breath in. Push down with your feet, tighten your thighs, bottom, lift your pelvic floor, scoop the belly and roll your spine up. It's like a Mexican wave, and once you've got it, it's beautiful. It's like treacle. Take your arms up and over. Now this time, leave your arms in the air an inch or two. So they're just hanging in the air. This is my favourite shoulder bridge. Take a breath in. And then roll your spine down, leaving your arms just an inch off the floor. And feel how it massages your thoracic spine. You've got to use your bottom, tuck under, tuck your tail under, and then release down to neutral. Arms come down. So that's 3 different sorts. Arms by your side, arms on the floor, and arms just in the air. There's lots of different variety, but I'm going to stick with those for today. Let's do 2 more. Take a breath in. Exhale, push down with your feet, squeeze your thighs bottom, lift your pelvic floor. Get that coordination as you visualize it coming up through your bottom, through your torso in a flowing way. And then arms, where do you like them? Did you like them on the floor, off the floor, or did you prefer them by your side? Do whichever feels nice for you. Inhale, check the pressure under your feet, keep it flat, and then roll your spine down. So you're not sneakily using part of your leg more than another, foot flat. All the way down to neutral, arms down by your side. Now the principles of Pilates are about progressing through layers. So once you've got the coordination of this and the action of this, we can start to roll up and lift and da 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 da. But we're not doing that yet. I want you to get the brain and the body talking to each other so that you're safe and effective. Feet flat, legs hip width, inhale. Push down with the flat foot, squeeze your calves, your thighs, your bottom, lift your pelvic floor, hollow your tummy, squeeze your bottom a bit more, roll your spine off the mat, come up to your shoulders. Where would you like your arms? What did you like most? Inhale, take your arms there. Exhale, roll down, get the sort of like ripple, really let your spine be fluid and take your time to feel and visualize the movement. Arms down by your side. We're doing 1 more. Inhale. Well done. Push with your feet. Squeeze your calves, your thighs, your bottom. Lift your pelvic floor inside. Engage your bottom a bit more. Roll the spine up. Get to the shoulders. Arms, where would you like them? Here, in the air, or on the floor. Wherever your arms are, relax them. Inhale. Check the pressure in your feet, folks. Is it evenly balanced? Forefoot and heel, and then roll your spine down, vertebra at a time. And when you get down, bring one knee into your chest, bring the other knee into your chest. Let your knees hang out wide and have a little rock from side to side. So you're releasing your lower back, you're massaging all around the base of your waist and spine. You can circle them if you wish. Ooh, give your kidneys a bit of a pummel. So whilst this isn't a conventional sit-up, you know, Pilates isn't about sit-ups, it is about isolating different sections of your torso to get a real strong coordinated response from your inside strength, from your inner muscles. So from here, I want to give you more of a kind of a conventional curl-up, but we're going to work, imagine your torso, this sort of rectangle here from hips to shoulders, and we're going to work from the tail end. We're going to work from the top end, and then we're going to put it together. So, pelvis level, take a breath in. Without your feet pressing, relax your legs and tuck your pelvis under. Now, your legs are floppy, your bottoms are floppy, give them a poke. You've now imprinted your spine, but without any help from your legs. Can you feel that's harder on your tummy? Release your spine back to neutral. Go again, inhale. Relax your feet, thighs, legs, tuck under. You've got this slight pelvic floor lift to seal the pressure inside. You've pressed your spine at the back of your waist into the floor, and this is tense. Release back to neutral. Inhale. 1 more time, lift your pelvic floor, tuck your hips under, relax your feet, thighs and bottom. So this is your obliques that are pulling your pelvis under and flattening your waist. And release. Happy with that? So think of that as being the bottom end of your torso, the rock and roll end, yeah? Now pop your hands, fingers interlocked, pop your hands behind your head. Your thumbs are going to run down the side of your neck, and if you need to give your head a bit of support, you can do that with your hands now. You're looking straight up at the ceiling. You've got a gap behind your waist to start with, and I want you to lift your elbows just into your peripheral vision. So you're not looking at them, but you can just sort of sense that they're there out the corners of your eyes. Inhale. Now I want you to retract your chin as if you're making a bit of a double chin, and then fold from underneath your bust or underneath your chest and curl up. Now your pelvis hasn't moved. You haven't tucked under. You'll want to, because when we go to the gym, that's what we tend to do. But I want you to just fold from here. So this is level. There's a little gap behind your waist. But can you feel now the upper section of the abdominals, just under the ribs? That soft bit under your ribs is now going, oh, hello, and come down. Inhale. Go again. Exhale. Sink your ribs. Let your head come up because your upper body is curled. Inhale, come down. And again, exhale. A little pelvic floor lift would help seal the pressure in the abdominal cavity. Inhale, come down. Twice more. You'll be desperate to flatten your back, but don't let it. And it's a restricted range of movement. It's really irritating. Come down. One more time. Can you feel how that's really isolating this top section and talking to it? And then come down. Okay, we're going to put the two together. So it's going to be a bit like a little banana or a saucer shape. You're going to curl up from both ends. The hips will come under, the ribs will come down, and you're going to release from both ends. So join me when you're ready. Inhale. Lift your pelvic floor and tuck your pelvis under, sink your ribs. You've created a nice curve here. Look down at your belly and check it's not bulging out, but it's scooping down. And now let the ribs release at the same time. Let your pelvis drop away. Inhale. Exhale, it goes pelvic floor. Tuck your hips under, sink your ribs. Relax your feet, relax your thighs, relax your bottom. And release. Can we do two more? Inhale. Blow out. It's pelvic floor, deep tummy. Tuck it down. Fold from underneath your chest. Glance down. Check that that's scooped out. And release from both ends, not just one end. Last time, lift your pelvic floor. Tuck your pelvis under. Bring one hand down by your side. Bring the other hand down by your side. And then a little reach, a little reach, a little reach. Now, if your head is heavy or you're struggling, you could keep one hand behind your head. We're only doing 4 more, 3 more. Press your waist down. 2 more. Exhale. And release. Ooh, slide your legs away. Take your arms over your head. And have a good old stretch. And if you can, squeeze your bottom up in the air. Swing your hips around. And then flop. So I hope that gave you a flavour of how you can isolate the upper and lower part of your tummy and really help to get that whole panel of support going. We're going to lie on our side for a moment. I'm going to show you something called a waist hitch, which I hope you'll be able to see okay. We're going to start propped up on elbows so that you can check your alignment. So I want you to look down at your straight legs. If you've got any kind of hip issues, you could put an extra towel under there for a bit of support and softness if you needed to. But there you are with your ankles under your knees, under your hips, and you can kind of visualise this nice straight line before going down onto the side of your waist and ribs and shoulder. So, can you begin to tighten your knees, your thighs, your bottom, and check for me, use this spare hand, check for me that you haven't just let your waist collapse and your spine sag sideways into the floor, but you take hold of that top hip and lengthen it down so that you've got, it may be lifted here, you may have a space, or it may just be a sense of less pressure under your waist. But if you look at my hips, they're stacked here, they're not on an angle. So you want to get that position correct. Hips stacked, knees stacked, ankles stacked. Now, this is the gap that I want you to focus on, or this is the area that I want you to focus on. This isn't going to be working, the opposite side is, but I'll show you how. If you're struggling to balance, because a lot of people will be like, whoa, I've never done this before, and it is quite wobbly to start with, that'll come in time. But if you're struggling, pop your hand down, but don't let your shoulder roll forward. So just the hand or the fingertip goes down. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to stretch your top leg so much that it floats up to hip height and there's some tension in it. Now, you've still got your little gap here, yes? I want you to think about this side of your pelvis is going to come up to your armpit. So inhale, exhale, hitch this hip up so that you've now squashed this side of your waist into the floor. But if you prod here, There's a bit of tension through that flesh. The side of your waist is doing some work. Now let that waist pay out. The leg will move, but that's because your pelvis is moving. It's not a leg move. It's like going to the gym. This is the weight that we're lifting. You don't need to move the leg, you move the waist. Here we go. Inhale. Are we all right? Exhale. Hitch this hip up. Sort of shorten this side of your body like a banana and squish the other side of your waist into the floor. Your legs are strong. Your bottom is squeezing. Your tummy is held. Your neck is relaxed. Pay out. Lengthen. Inhale. Let's go again. Hitch. Squidge the side of your waist into the floor. Relax your neck and shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. And then last two, exhale, hitch. You can imagine that we could add more weight to this, couldn't we, to make it harder. So that's where we go eventually. Inhale, lengthen the waist away. Make a gap. One more time. Exhale, pull that hip up towards you. Ooh, crunch, crunch, crunch. Side waist work. Inhale, lengthen it away. And then relax your leg down, bend your knees. Good. So you're going to pop your head in your hands. Now, just because your knees have bent up, don't curl into a ball and don't round your back. I want you to feel that you've still got your natural hollow behind your waist. Pop your head in your hands. And I'd like you to lift your elbow up as you breathe in. Twist your torso and allow your shoulders to spread across the floor or near the floor. So you're now stretching the waist that you've just been contracting and tightening. Lift that elbow up and over again. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, roll. Relax your head weight. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift up and over. So I'd like you to do your next 2 or 3 thinking about keeping your knees together. So you have to use your tummy muscles a bit so that they don't roll past each other. Here we go. Lift up, inhale. Glue the knees together. Exhale, twist. Relaxing the arm that's on the floor. And notice you may not have twisted as far now that I'm asking you to keep your knees together. So you're getting a truer representation of your rotational ability. And then up you come. And I want you to make a note because the other side might be different. Inhale, lift your elbow. The knees stay together. Exhale, twist. Head heavy in the hands. Make a little mental note of what that feels like. Lift the elbow up. And use your hands to push yourself up onto all fours. Now remember which side you've done. Because obviously I'm not there to say left and right side. Remember which side you've done because you're going to turn around and face the other way in a minute. So on all fours for a moment, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. You're looking straight down at the floor. Now when you're looking down, if the weight is in the right place, your head will be in front of your fingers. So you're sort of imagining a triangle really from heel of your hand to your forehead. Spiral the arm for me so that the inner elbow, that crease, faces forwards. You're going to like this. Buckle the elbows and draw them into your waist and lower your forehead to the floor. Now it's made a triangle, it's in front of your hands. Push and lift. That's a true tricep push-up, basic format. So all fours, we're lifting a little less body weight, but we're being mindful of elbows tucking in towards your waist and forehead going well in front of your hands. Inhale as you go down, draw the shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, push. There's no rush. Inhale down. Exhale, push. I'd rather you did 6 really good ones than 20 rubbish. Here we go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. Breathe out. So they're biting a bit, yeah? If you're mega strong, you can take your hands further forwards, move your hips forwards and do them in a half plank position. But that requires more core strength. Last 2. Come on, stay with me. One more. Elbows in. Push, 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 push. Sit back, child's pose, and release. Bottom towards heels. Let your head come down. If you need a cushion behind your knees, put one there. You can bring your arms by your side. You can curl into a little ball. And it's a very reflective pose. An inner focusing pose from yoga, but it's lovely. And you're allowing your spine to relax and your shoulders to relax as you breathe into your back. Letting your ribs expand like an accordion. And feeling them condense as you exhale. Take a deep breath in. Lift your pelvic floor and tummy and roll your spine up. Head comes up last. And let's do the other side, hey? So, everybody okay? Are you with me? You've got your legs in a nice straight line. You are right on the side of your flesh. So I lift myself up and I land on the side so that I haven't left my thigh behind. And I'm looking down and I'm going, yeah, okay, ankles are together, knees, hips, I can see that straight line, and then I go down onto the side of my ribs. I can see the tops of my feet and my toes, but then I get my head back and look forwards. So are we okay with that? Draw your shoulders down, relax your head on your arm or a cushion if you need to. Now let the waist collapse and feel that kind of belly hanging out, feel the contact between the skin and the floor. Pop your hand on your hip, ooh, cold hand. Pop your hand on your hip and then push the waist down so you can see how my pelvis goes down on this top side and my hips become more stacked. Now my spine is central with the horizontal with the floor and I've got a little gap or less pressure you might have. You can use your hand for balance if you need to, or hand on the side of your leg. Begin to tighten your knees, your thighs, your bottom, a little bit of pelvic floor. Squeeze your tummy like you're wearing that dressing gown belt again. Inhale. And then as you exhale, stretch the top leg so it floats up to hip height. We don't need it up here somewhere. We're not doing a leg exercise. It's just level with your shoulder and hip. We're acting as a weight. This is your weight. You've just gone to the gym and picked it up. Still got your space or less pressure. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale. Pull this hip up by shortening the waist muscles. The leg will move, but that's because your pelvis has, and you can feel some tension in the side here. And then lengthen that side away and really get this space back again. Because if you don't, you've nowhere to hitch to. So you hitch on the exhale. You inhale, lengthen. Engage the tummy before you set off. When I teach this in class, what happens is that people come up first like this, then they pull the tummy in and then they wobble, because they've done the tummy thing last rather than first. So if you fix this panel of support and then hitch, then you won't wobble around so much. Then you pay out and you lengthen. Think about this muscle. Exhale, shorten the hip up to your ribs, squash that side of your waist into the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hitch. Inhale, push the hip down, lengthen your waist. 3 more. Exhale, hitch. Inhale, lengthen. If you're struggling to balance, finger here. Exhale, hitch. So this is brilliant for nipping your waist in. 1 more. And you can imagine we can lift both legs and make it much harder as we go along. Relax. So you will feel that the outer thigh and the bottom have done some work there, but it was you're using your legs as a weight, so it's mainly the waist. Bend your knees up. Check you've got a natural arch in your lower back. Keep your head back here, don't tug it down. And then, head in hands, relax your head. You're going to lift your top elbow up as you breathe in. Exhale and twist. Breathe in. And up and back we come. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift the elbow up. Exhale, twist. Letting your head be heavy in your hands. Breathe in. And then lift up, 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 up and over. Start to be fussy about where the knees are. So think of gluing them together. Lift up your elbow again, and as you inhale, you twist, and then you exhale. You soften the shoulder blades towards the floor. Check the knees haven't slid past each other. And notice what this side is like in comparison with the other. Do you have a different range of movement? Is the tension in a different part of your body? Lift up, 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 and over we come. Let's just do 3 more. It's a lovely rotation. Lift up, Exhale. Inhale. Up and over we come. Really let the head be heavy here. The head follows. Let your gaze follow the twist. And then one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, roll. And then back to the side. So very briefly, we're going to finish with a little plank. Now, some of you, I've just done a plank challenge with a group of people, actually. It was hilarious fun. And some of you may already know about the plank. It's a transition pose in Pilates. It's not a fixed pose. We don't hold it for hours in Pilates, really. It's a position in which you, certainly not on the mat anyway, you do on a reformer and things, but it's a position that we challenge the rest of our body from. But I'm just going to talk to you about how to do it really, really well and show you 2 or 3 different levels so that you can have a play with me for a few seconds if you'd like to. So start by being on your tummy. Legs are hip width. Rest your forehead on your hands. Give your pelvis a wiggle. Imagine you've got that plate of peas and you've just turned it upside down and splat it on the floor. So your pubic bone and hip bones are level on the floor. Shrug your shoulders up so you know where you don't want them. Feels horrible, doesn't it? Slide them down so you know, oh yeah, nice long neck, that's good. I'll keep them here. Now begin to tighten your knees, your thighs. A little squeeze of your bottom, but I don't want you to squeeze your bottom and stick your bum under or to arch. I just want you to statically squeeze and feel the skeleton is in the same place. Inhale. And then lift your belly button as if you're on a beach in, I think we've got somebody on from the UAE. Pretend you're on a beach in Dubai somewhere. And it's hot sand, and you try to lift your tummy off the sand, otherwise it's going to burn. That, if you like, is the most basic plank I can give you. It's still going to work your tummy. You're working against gravity. Your shoulders are down, your legs are squeezing, your thighs are working. So you can squeeze your legs and bottom and tummy here quite well without having to move your spine, without causing any injury. You can even do this when you're sort of rehabilitating, couldn't you, from an issue. So this is great. This is kind of level 1. Stay with that if you'd like to. Or prop yourself up on your forearms. Now, instead of letting your ribs sag like a banana, I want you to lift your rib cage up, but leave the tops of your thighs down. So just the hip bones, those bony bits on the front of your pelvis, have come up into the air. You're not hanging your head. You're going to think of a diagonal line from tail to top of head. You're drawing your shoulders down, chest open, spreading your shoulder blades apart. What have we done? We've gone to the gym and we've lifted a few kilos extra. We're using our torso and upper body and head as a bit of a weight. And instead of letting the back sag and the belly hang, we're scooping the tummy up. We've got a natural arch in our lower back and still active with your legs, still active with your bottom, still active with your tummy. Now breathe. And where could we breathe into so that we don't disturb the tension in the belly? I want you to breathe widthways into your ribs, into the back of your body, into your shoulder blades, up into your collarbones. You've got lung right up behind your collarbones. Go for it. So you're not letting your belly hang. So this is level 2 if you like, yeah? Come with me if you'd like to. You're now going to come up onto the top of your kneecaps, just above your kneecaps. So you've now got some thigh in the air and a lot more pelvis. Now this is quite a big jump up because the pelvis, especially for women, it's heavy. There's a lot of bone in there. So I need you to tighten your thighs, to tighten your bottom, to check you've not stuck your bum out or rounded your back. You have a natural hollow here and you slide your shoulder blades down your back. Visualize a little bit of space between the shoulder blades so they're not pinching. The chest feels open across the front and your head is in line. You're not doing this. I see a lot of people doing a plank with their chin out. I'd love you to have the back of your neck long, forehead pointing down. And if you want your arms in a different position, you could change them to Cossack style. That's fine. So this would be a higher level, yeah? Are you still with me? We've been here a while. For those of you that want to play, next level, of course, is to come up onto your toes. You can do a plank on your hands. It's a little bit easier than here, but this is probably a bit much for those that are new to it. So you'd come down, or you'd retreat down to here, or you'd come down to here. And wherever you are, I'd like you to relax down. Collapse. Relax. Take your arms out into I surrender. Elbows are an L shape. Shoulders and elbows are level. Take a breath in for me. And then peel up with your head, neck and breastbone. Leave your elbows and forearms down for a moment. And ooze your chest forwards. Draw your heart forwards. Let the shoulder blades slide down your back. And release. We're just doing 4 of these. Inhale. Push with your forearms, peel the heart forwards. If you wish to, let your elbows come up an inch, not far. Don't rush for it. And down. Incremental spine movement. Take a breath in. Go again, push. You might like to stay here because you know your upper back is quite rounded, and this is the antidote to sort of a rounded thoracic spine. Or you might like to come up because you know your lower back feels tight and you want to stretch your tummy muscles. Listen to your body. And down. Inhale. Exhale, peel the spine up. Little bit of abdominal support here, shoulders down. Melt the face and the neck and the jaw. Down you go. And then your last one, if you wish, hands narrower and lower. Inhale. Only if you feel happy to. Head, neck, shoulders, push. Coming up. Lift your shoulder girdle out of your pelvis. How do you do that? How do you have a feeling of traction, of length in the spine? It's got to be through your tummy muscles here. Feel like you're scooping up. And then down you come, one bone at a time. Push yourselves up and back. And to finish, knees wide, sit back, reach out.